Attention duelists! Welcome to Master Duel Watch and Learn, part 69. Nice! Oh, now that bit's out of the way, let's get back to what I'm here to do, which is show y'all the games. Alright, taking a quick looky peek at what we have here to see. I want to know what's going on with these ancient warriors and a runic with magical muskets. Hope y'all are doing good on this wonderful Monday. If you're not, I hope it improves. That is, in fact, runic muskets. Opponent activates Max C right off the jump. Runic player activates the fountain. Full pass. Not a full pass, but pass. Duel's B's turn. Set pass. They're not doing much, but they're doing it quick, and I appreciate that. Duelist A draws Magical Musketeer Caspar, summons it, activates Magical Musket Dancing Needle, targeting the Max C in the graveyard. Max C is banished. Caspar's effect will activate, adding Last Stand. Caspar is then linked away for Magical Musketeer Max. Max's effect will activate, summoning Starfire from the deck. Max and Starfire both swing. Pass to the Duelist B. Duelist B activates the effect of Ancient Warriors Loyal Guan Yu. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Guan Yu on board. Activates Ancient Warriors Saga 3 Visits. Opponent will chain Last Stand to that to negate Spell Trap. The 3 visits does not matter. No visits. You've lost visitation rights. Starfire's effect will activate then, summoning Magical Musketeer Wild from the deck. Loyal Guan Yu's effect will activate. If your opponent controls more monsters than you, target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. Attempting to pop Starfire. Player chains Magical Musket Cross Domination. Target one face-up monster on the field. Its attack and defense go to 0, and its effect is negated. Guan Yu no pop. Wild's effect will then activate. Target 3 Magical Muskets in the graveyard. A Called By will chain targeting Caspar in the graveyard. Caspar is banished. That will not stop Wild. We will put the 3 cards back in the deck and draw 1. Guan Yu is then tributed for Ancient Warriors Savage Dan Ying. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add a level 7 or higher Ancient Warriors or Ancient Warriors Continue Spell Trap from deck to hand. Adds Rebellious Lu Fang. Summons Lu Fang because they control the highest attack Ancient Warriors monster on the field. Runic Tip will then chain to that. Player takes some damage. And because they control level 7 or higher Ancient Warriors, Dan Ying makes their opponent pay 400. So it's a light tax dragon. Runic Slumber is chaining off of Lu Feng's chain to destroy one face-up monster the opponent controls with the highest attack. Slumber is targeting Musketeer Wild, so it is not destroyed. And then Tip will add Flashing Fire. Cards are being banished. Swings with Dan Ying at Starfire. Flashing Fire will activate, targeting Lu Feng. He is gone. Then Runic Slumber will shuffle back 3 Runics, draw 3. All magical muskets. Dan Ying does get over Starfire. Duel Speed then activates Called By, targeting Starfire. So actually the Starfire and Caspar in Duelist A's hand, their effects are still negated on this turn, which might matter. Player draws Runic Destruction. Summon Starfire. Starfire and Wild are going to overlay into Baguska. Baguska say go defense mode. The battle phase is skipped thanks to Runic cards. Runic player is waiting. Duel Speed activates Raigeki. Wipes out the opponent's board. Dan Ying's effect will activate, banishing Starfire. Summons another Rebellious Lu Fang. Yep. Player activates Runic Destruction, summoning Gary. Dan Ying keeps making him pay 400. Dan Ying gets over Gary. Gary's effect will pop Lu Feng. He is not allowed to stick around. This is a much more back and forth game than I expected it to be. Muskets are alive though. Player summons Kid Brave. Kid Brave will link off into Max. Max's effect will activate. Dan Ying will chain. Getting rid of the other Max in the graveyard. Player gets 1 magical musket. Adds Desperado, gets it. Pops Dan Ying. Has to pass the battle phase because Runics. Ancient Warriors player activates Fire Formation Tenki. Magical Musket, Last Stand, Spell Trap, Negate. Tenki gets him nothing. Use the effect of another Loyal Guan Yu to special summon it because the opponent controls a monster. Then summons the Ascendant of Thunder by paying 3,000 life points. Ascendant of Thunder swings over Max. Guan Yu swings direct, Runic player at 500. Main phase 2, Ascendant of Thunder and Guan Yu. Make Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon. Each time the opponent activates a card or effect, they take 500 points of damage. Runic player only has 500. Set, pass. Don't think it really matters, though. Duel Speed activates Feather Duster. Sweeps up all spells and traps. Flare Metal goes to attack mode. Swings over the set cast bar. Pass turn to the Runic player. Draw Starfire. Sets her. Bit of a slow swirl to death. Ancient Warriors sets a back row. Swings over Starfire. Runic player is right and truly cooked by Ancient Warriors. Activates Runic Fountain. Flare Metal says take 500. And that's the game. Ancient Warriors beats Runic Musket. Okay, that guy is Majesty's Fiend, so we're not looking at that degeneracy. Is anyone doing something cool and casual? I see more Runic Musket against Dogmatica. That guy's running Monarchs against a starter deck. Oh. Penguins versus Flower Guardians. Alright. This will be fun to figure out all the Flower Guardian names. Opponent activates Foolish Burial Goods, sending away Ice Barrier. Ice Barrier will banish itself. Send away a Great Emperor Penguin, and then add it back to hand. Activates Moray of Greed. Shuffling away Penguin Torpedo and Great Emperor Penguin to draw 3. Activates another Moray of Greed. Sending back Penguin Soldier and Deep Sea Diva. Summons Barrier Statue of the Torrent. Ice Trade Tremor's effect will activate, sending itself to the graveyard to special summon Penguin Cleric. Dark's effect will activate, targeting itself. Target 1 Penguin Monster gains attack, and you gain 600 life points. Alright, need a little boost. Cleric and Torrent will then link together for making a Marincess Coral Anemone. This might just be Torrent block. Anemone brings back the Barrier Statue, sets a back row, and passes. Player activates Super Koi Koi. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring say no. Summons Flower Guardian Cherry Blossom and passes. The Barrier Statue is making this rough. Player sets a monster, turns Barrier Statue to attack mode, swings with both their monsters. Flower Guardians not looking great. Yay, sets a back row and passes. He would have to get rid of the barrier statue to do anything. Opponent flips up Nightmare Penguin, which will bounce the defense draw. Darien Reaper Foom effect will activate, targeting the Penguin Cleric and equipping it to itself. It is also a bounce. Swings with his monsters. 4 game. Barrier statue wins. Disappointing. All right. Anyone running something unorthodox in Festival? Or am I going to see Labyrinth, 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 Dark World, Labyrinth, Labyrinth. See if Dark World's doing anything. Labyrinth versus Valkyrie. Sorry, Dark World versus Valkyrie. Activates Paw Desires, banish 10, draw 2. Activates Dark World Archives. Then activates Dark World Dealings, both players draw and pitch. Player pitched Brow. Archives will chain to Brow. Archives pitching another. Brow lets him draw. Another Brow is pitched. Its effect will activate. Sets 2, sets a monster, passes. Activates Pot of Extravagance. Banish 6, draw 2. Summons Valkyrie Drit. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Valkyrie to your hand. Imperm, say no. Protecting Spirit Loageth will activate, summoning itself. If an effect of a fairy monster you control is activated, you can special summon this card from your hand. Sets 2 cards. Loageth will swing over Scar. Scar's effect will activate, adding Genta. And then Valkyrie Drit will swing direct. Pass to Dark World. Genta's effect, pitching itself. Called by will activate, targeting Genta. Genta is negated. And Drit gains 200 attack for each of your opponent's banished monsters. Weird little bonus effect. Genta's effect is negated and negated. Dark World players summon Snow. The Archives will let them pitch Grapha. Grapha's effect will activate, targeting the set back row. Archives' other effect will activate. Pitching another, which is Rainbow. Grapha pops Mischief of the Time Goddess. Rainbow adds a Grapha. Activate Dark World Dealings, both players draw and pitch. Player pitched a Ceruli. Ceruli was discarded, goes to the opponent's field, activates, making the opponent discard, discards Grapha. Grapha's discarded, popping Drit. Look at the opponent's hand. Stealing Valkyrie Funft. Funft will then swing over Ceruli. Snow will then swing over Loageth. Bounces Snow to summon Rainbow. Bounces Rainbow to summon Grapha. Grapha and Valkyrie Funft will then link together for Muckraker from the Underworld. Muckraker will target Ceruli, discard Snow, summon Ceruli. Snow is discarded, add Gates of the Dark World to hand. Activate the Gates. Bounce Ceruli, summon the other Grapha. Gates will then activate, banishing Brow from the graveyard. Discarding Ceruli, draw a card. Ceruli is discarded again, summon to the opponent's field, not a once per turn. Makes the opponent discard Rainbow. Rainbow is discarded, add Lucent. And summons Ceruli to the opponent's field. Ceruli activate again, discard Lucent. Lucent was discarded. Summon itself back, and summon Danger Chupacabra. Bounce Lucent, summon Rainbow, not a hard once per turn. Bounce Rainbow, summon back Grapha again. Activate Chupacabra in hand. The card hit was Rainbow. Summoning Chupacabra. Link 5. Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Her effect activates. And pass. They did a lot there. Dark Hole. Goddess was not targeted, so she is not destroyed. Player activates 1/1, pitching Sigrun, summoning Sesht. Sesht on summon, lets them special summon Zweit from deck. Zweit will target pop Goddess. Then Zweit will swing. My money is still on Dark World, because Valkyrie is out of gas. Dark World uses Genta's effect, discarding it, adding Gates of Dark World. Then the Gates of Dark World on field will banish Genta, discard Rainbow, draw a card, Archives will activate, Rainbow will chain, Genta will chain, Genta's effect, summon itself to the field, Rainbow, add gold to hand, Archives, discard Lucent, draw 1, Lucent effect, summon itself, activates Dark World Ascension, banishing a Grapha from graveyard and sending gold from hand to graveyard to make Grapha Dragon Overlord. Gold's effect will activate because it was discarded, summon itself to field. Genta is bounced for Rainbow. Gold is bounced for Grapha. Lucent and Grapha will then link together. Make a second Muckraker. Muckraker will target Underworld Goddess, pitch Gold. Goddess is back on board. Gold was discarded, summon itself. It is then bounced for Grapha once more. Normal summon Genta. Swing with Rainbow over the Zweit. Swing with Grapha over Shisht. Swing Muckraker, swing Genta, swing Grapha Overlord, and Goddess for game. That Dark World player had so much gas in the tank. He has 7 cards in hand still. Maybe I gotta start playing Dark World. Crazy the thing that guy did. Let's go Dark Magician versus Traptrix. It could suck. It could be cool. We'll find out by looking. Traptrix not super impressed by their hand. Set 4 pass. That's scary enough on its own, though. Duel B draws for turn. Duel B, just want to check. They are running a 59 card deck? No, 58. Weird. Starts off activating Magician's Salvation, letting them set Eternal Soul. Discards a Berry Magician Girl to summon Apprentice Illusion Magician. Void Trap Hole's effect will activate. Trap Trick will chain. Trap Trick's Holutea will chain to that. Holutea summons itself as a trap monster. Trap Trick sends away Terrifying Trap Hole Nightmare to set another one. Void Trap Hole will negate Apprentice Illusion Magician and pop. Player summons Lemon Magician Girl and passes. Trap Trick's player draws Trap Trick's Pudica. Before that, though, Holutea will be linked away for Trap Trick's Sarah. Eternal Soul is activated. Player summons Pudica, who adds Trap Trip Garden. Sarah's effect will activate, setting Gravediggers. Activates the garden. Sarah and Pudica are going to link together to make Kularia. Activates Break Off Trap Hole. When a link monster is link summoned, destroy all monsters in the field that are not linked. And there goes Lemon. And then thanks to Kularia, they're able to reset Break Off. Swing with Kularia. At the end of the battle phase, Holutea will banish itself, summon back Sarah. Not the end. Sarah then swings. Kularia's effect will activate, targeting Pudica, summoning her back to field. Pass to the Dark Magician player. Activates Swords of Revealing Light. Passes. Draws Floodgate Trap Hole. Links away Kularia and Sarah. For Trap Trick's Oedipus. Trap Trip Garden will activate, banishing Pudica to summon back Kularia. Oedipus effect will then activate. Target face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of insect and plant monsters you control. Negate their effects, then you can apply this effect. You banish one normal trap from the graveyard and destroy one of those targeted face-up cards. Gets rid of Trap Trick, targeting Swords of Revealing Light and Eternal Soul to negate them. Gets rid of Eternal Soul. And Sword is negated, so they swing with both their monsters for game. Trap Tricks dunks on Dark Magician. Zombies could be neat. We got Eldritch Zombie Pile. A 55 card deck. Activates Cursed Eld Land, pays the cost to add Conquistador. Activates Mayakashi Return, adding Hajun. Summon Hajun. Hajun summons Daki. Sync the two together. Make Oboro Gumi. Oboro Gurama. Daki comes back. Sync together. Make Tsuchigumo. Daki comes back. Sync together. Tengu. Daki comes back. Sync together. Yoko, the graceful Mayakashi. Daki comes back. Opponent activates Nibiru. Big Rock, say bye-bye. Not too bad of a token, though. Eldritch will pitch itself and Conquistador. Get rid of the rock. Eldritch will then send away Eld Land, add itself back to hand. Summon self with boosted stats and protection. Cursed Eld Land will send away Guardian. During the end phase, Conquistador will banish itself, and Guardian will do the same. Sets a Scarlet Sanguine, and sets an Elixir of White. Pass turn. Immediately fires off the Scarlet, summoning Doom King Ballardrock. Opponent activates Imperm, targeting Ballardrock. Summons Dogmatica Incredible Ecclesia. Maxi activates in response. Ecclesia activates in response to that. Gets out Moye. Moye effect, revealing Taya. Summon token. Moye and token make Chishao. Chishao effect, Moye chaining. Draw one. Hang on. Why were you banished? Chishao chose to banish Longwan. Did he fumble the button? Anyway, summons Taya. Taya banishes Moye. For its effect, Elixir of White Destiny will chain. Summons back Yoko from the grave. Taya summons a token. Yoko effect, pop the token. Chishao swing over the Nibiru token. Sword Soul sets 2 back row and passes. Zombie player activates Mayakashi Return, adding Yuki Musume. Summons Shiranui Solitaire, tributes it. Ballardrock will chain to that. Banishing Chishao. Solitaire summons Daki from deck. Daki and Yoko will sync together, making Gashado Kuro. Daki comes back. Yuki Musume will summon itself, send 1 to graveyard. Yuki and Daki will link together, make Yuki Onna. Daki is summoned back. Necroworld Banshee, which was sent away, will banish itself, activate Zombie World. Yuki Onna and Daki will link together, make Yuki Onna the Icicle Mayakashi. Daki is summoned back. Yuki Onna and Daki once again link together for Yuki Onna the Absolute Zero Mayakashi. Daki is summoned back. Yuki Onna will make Taya's attack points 0. Player swings with Gashado Kuro at Sword Soul of Taya. Opponent activates Mirror Force. Goodbye, zombies. Yoko's effect will activate, banishing Shiranui Solitaire, summoning itself. Yoko effect, popping Taya. Swings. Yuki Ono will banish herself, summon back Tengu. Tengu is summoned, which will target the Imperm to pop. Imperm will activate in response, might as well. Negating Tengu. Tengu swings. Sets 2 back row. During the main phase 2, banish Scarlet Sanguine to set a Hakero. Banish the Elixir of White, setting another Guardian. Eldritch will send away the Hakero, add itself back to hand, summon self with boosted stats and protection. End turn. During the end phase, Hakero will banish itself from the graveyard, set a Scarlet Sanguine. During the opponent's standby phase, Ballard Rock will summon itself back from the graveyard. Opponent activates Long Wan, pitching a Sword Tenyi Spirit Ashuna, summoning a token. Conquistador will activate, summoning itself, and because Eldritch is on board, popping the Long Wan. Ashuna's effect will activate, banishing itself. Ballard Rock will chain, negating the effect of Ashuna. Sword Soul player passes. They are rightly cooked. Zombies go to attack mode, Eldritch gets rid of the token, and Ballard Rock for game. Zombie Pile beats Sword Soul Tenyi. Alright. None of these that I'm seeing are really grabbing me, but this one's got a weird synchro monster that you don't see a lot, so we'll see if they're doing something with it. Tenyi with Protoss. Opponent activates King of the Swamp, pitching it, adding Polymerization. Activates Tearlament Scream, summons Merlee. Scream will activate in response to Merlee's on summon. Imperm will activate, targeting Merlee. Good effort, champ. Scream will mill a few, Merlee will mill none. Rhino Heart was milled, as was Havnus. Their effects will activate. Havnus will fuse with Merlee, making Kit Kalos. Rhino Heart will summon itself. Discard 1. Discarded Sulliek. Sulliek was discarded. Rhino Heart was summoned. Chaining. Kit Kalos, chain link 3. Kit Kalos will send away a card. Rhino Heart will send away more. Sulliek will add Sharon. Sharon was sent away, as was Merlee. Their effects will activate. Merlee do a fuse between herself and King of the Swamp, making Grapha. Yeah, Merlee is a dark and King of the Swamp is substitute material, so that's unexpected. Sharon will fuse with Kit Kalos, making Rukalos. Sharon in hand will activate, summoning itself, pitching Keldo, sending away a few. Rhino Heart and Sharon will overlay, making Time Thief Redoer. Passes turn. An unorthodox Tearlament end board with Grapha and Redoer. Redoer is not out of expectations, but Graph was a surprise. Redoer's effect will activate during the standby phase. Duelist A will pitch Max C, which she got that last turn. Redoer steals a card, which is an Ecclesia. Redoer will then banish its detachment monster. Redoer will detach a monster material to banish itself until the end phase. Player activates Sword Soul Emergence. Grapha will activate its effect to make that a discard effect. Discarding Polymerization. Player summons Consecrated Light. Scream will activate to mill cards. Havnus is hit, as is Meta Noise. Rhino Heart is added back to hand. Havnus will fuse itself with Grapha. I guess he did his job. Making Mudragon. Your dragon, Mudragon. Opponent controls more monsters than they do, so player summons Ecclesia. Fairy Tail's Snow in the grave will activate, banishing a bunch. Summoning itself. Snow's effect, flip Ecclesia. Ecclesia will chain, distributing itself. Rule Kalos will use its effect to negate. Ecclesia does nothing. Snow also whiffs, but that matters less. During the end phase, Redoer comes back. Player draws a card. During the standby phase, Redoer will steal Super Polymerization. Redoer effect will activate. Ash Blossom will chain. Because this effect would be to draw a card, it does something, but no, they're done. All monsters to attack mode. Muddragon swings over the light. Snow swing direct. Redoer direct. And Rukalos for game. Unorthodox or not, Tearlament is still Tearlament, and that makes them tough to beat. Rip to a real one who couldn't get out the gate. I'm not the biggest fan of Apex Avian, but we'll give this a gander. It is Flu with Floodgates. You're gross. Player activates Dimensional Fissure, set 2 back row, set 1 monster, and pass. Draws Fossil. It's Stun, Lock, Floodgate, Flu. You're gross. Duelist A, I hope you lose. Activates Pot of Prosperity. Banishing 6. Looking at their cards. They add Magnificent Map. Set 3, summon Fossil Diny Pachycephalo. Runic Destruction will activate, popping the set Quaking Mirror Force. Fossil Dyna will swing at Mimicking Maneater Bug, which will pop the Fossil Dyna and become a rock. Passes turn, Duelist B. Activates Messenger of Peace. Opponent activates Rivalry of Warlords. Battle phase is skipped due to Runic Destruction. Pass to the Flu player, who draws Pot of Duality, activates it. Look at the top 3. Adds Fluanderies and the Advent of Adventure. Activates it. Pitching the Snowl, adding Rabina. Activates the map. Map will reveal Rabina. Send away Toucan. Summon Rabina. Rabina in the Banished will activate, as will a Toucan. And Rabina on summon is Chainlink 1. Banished Toucan goes back to hand. Banished Rabina goes back to hand. Field Rabina, add Eaglin. Summons the Eagle. Eagle add M-Pen. Tribute 2 birds for the M-Pen. M-Pen on summon effect. Eaglin in banish effect. Chainlink 2. Eaglin go back to hand. M-Pen add Wandering Winds for wilds. Summon Toucan. Toucan add Snowl back to hand. Activates the Unexplored. Unexplored will send back 2, draw 1. Summon Stree. Stree will banish the opponent's Runic Destruction. End turn. Messenger of Peace. Cost, pay 100. Sets 1 pass. Player draws Grave of the Super Ancient Organism. Uses the effect of their map, getting rid of an Eaglin. Yeah. Revealing Rabina, sending away Eaglin, summon Rabina. Rabina in field will activate, in banish will activate, and Eaglin in banish will activate. The banished birds will come back to hand. Rabina on field will add a Stree. Summon the Eaglin. Eaglin will add Earthbound Immortal. What's your silly name? Earthbound Immortal Aslapiscu, which they will summon by tributing. Attributed 1 for that? Weird. Because I don't know my Earthbound Immortals as much as I thought I did. Anyway, the Earthbound Immortals effect is unsummoned. Unexplored Winds effect will apply, banishing Rabina, getting rid of Messenger of Peace. Moves to battle. Aslapiscu swings direct. Passes turn. Blue player cannot actually get around the Mimicking Maneater. Maneater player passes. Blue player draws. The Winds will send Rabina and Stree back. Draw 2. Sets 1. Asclepiscu swings direct. Mimicking Maneater player, full pass. Blue player draws, activates MST, popping a back row, which was Rivalry of the Warlords. Asclepiscu swings direct. Out of frustration, the blue player will throw their monsters at the Mimicking Maneater. Passes turn, Mimicking Maneater player, Runic Tip to add Destruction. Activate Destruction. Popping Rivalry. Tributes 2 of the opponent's monsters for a Lava Golem. Asclepiscu's effect will activate. Runic Flashing Fire will chain to special summon a Runic. Summoning Hugin. And then their field blows up. Let me see if I was what I thought it was. If this face-up card leaves the field, except by its own effect, destroy as many face-up monsters your opponent controls as possible, and if you do, inflict 800 damage to your opponent for each monster destroyed. Yeah, Asclepiscu just fixed a lot of problems for that guy. Birds win. Bird up, everybody. Okay, let's hit one on the random. Naturia Vernal Sylph. Activates Vernal Sylph in full bloom. Use the effect of Misty Seedling, pitching itself and Sunflower to add Vernal Sylph of the Flourishing Hills. Summons back Naturia Sunflower. Hills will pitch itself an Ash Blossom to add Vernal Sylph Corolla. Summon back the Misty Seedling. Full bloom will add Ash Blossom back to hand. Activates Corolla. Sets Naturia Sacred Tree and passes. Opponent draws for turn. Summons Red-Haired Hasty Horse. Sacred Tree will activate, which will send Sunflower to the graveyard. Sacred Tree, tribute 1 Earth Plant, special summon 1 level 4 or lower Earth Insect monster from your deck. Which will bring out the Mole Cricket. Opponent summons Nimble Beaver. Mole Cricket's effect will activate. In response to Nimble Beavers, Mole Cricket goes away. Summons a Naturia Antjaw. When the opponent special summons a monster, Antjaw lets them special summon a level 3 or lower Naturia. And there are currently 2 Nimble Beavers. Antjaw brings out another Sunflower. The nimblest of beavers will turn into a number 64 Raccoon Rodent. Antjaw's effect, not a once per turn. Mole Cricket's effect will chain. Mole Cricket is back on board. Antjaw summons a Maron. What's the boost coming from? This card has no special summoned. Special monster from the extra deck. You can special summon this card. You can only effect once per turn. Something from you? All monsters you control gain 1,000 attack while you control 5 or more Earth monsters. That's it. So, Red-Haired Hasty Horse will activate in response to the Naturia Maron special summon. There's another card. Place in this card's column. Destroy this card. Oof. And Vernal Sylph and Full Bloom's activation. A Vernal Sylph monster is special summoned. From your graveyard, you can target one monster on the field or in either graveyard, return it to the hand, and thanks to Corolla, all Earth monsters are Vernal Sylph. That'll target the Raccoon Ronin. Goodbye, Raccoon. Goodbye, Hasty Horse. Duel's B sets 1 back row and passes. The Cherry player does not have a tuner, though. Mole Cricket will tribute itself. There's a tuner. To summon Camellia, which will send away Sacred Tree. Sacred Tree will add Naturia Blessing. Camellia and Antjaw will make Naturia Barkion. Good choice. Mole Cricket effect will activate. Opponent activates Rise to full height. Barkion Say No by banishing 2 from the graveyard. Mole Cricket returns to the field. The Full Bloom will add a Flourishing Hills back to hand, which will discard itself. Corolla makes only discard 1. Add Vera. Sunflower summoned back. 2 monsters attributed for Vera. Vernal Self Goddess. Swing with Vera and Barkion. Player had lethal. Activates Maturia Blessing. Summons back Camellia, which is the required lethal. Naturia Vernal Sylph beats Raccoon. Yeah, I guess we'll call it that. A delightfully goofy end to a delightfully goofy beginning. That's going to be the end of this week's iconic episode 69, nice, of Master Duel Watch and Learn. If you caught the stream, thanks for watching. And if you're catching the replay, thanks for that too. Goodbye.